There is a phase in the financial journey that nobody talks about, not because it's rare, because it's universal. Every single person who has ever built something real savings, real income, real wealth, has passed through it. It has no highlight reel, it doesn't produce results you can share, it is unglamorous, uncomfortable, and often lonely. It's called the quiet phase. And if you're in it right now, this video is for you. Here's what it actually is. You started. Maybe you're saving a small amount every month. Maybe you're learning a skill. Maybe you're building something on the side. You're doing the things, showing up, making the decisions. And yet, nothing visible has changed. Not really. Your bank account looks almost the same as it did 6 months ago. The people around you haven't noticed anything different. There's no moment you can point to and say, this is where it turned. That distance between where you began and where you're going is the gap, and almost nobody warns you it exists. Financial content shows you the start, here's what to do, and it shows you the arrival, here's what it looks like when it works. But the middle, the long, quiet, invisible middle, that's what most people are actually living in, and most people are living in it alone. There is a plant called Chinese bamboo. In the first year after planting, nothing appears above the ground. Second year, nothing. Third year, fourth year, still nothing. To anyone watching, it looks like failure, like wasted effort, like the seed never took. Then, in the fifth year, or sometimes the sixth, the bamboo breaks the surface, and in the weeks that follow, it grows up to 90 feet tall. Was it doing nothing for 5 years? No. It was building the root system that made everything else possible. The growth was happening the entire time, just underground, invisible, unannounced. The quiet phase of wealth is the root system. Every month you save when no one notices, every skill you build before it pays, every habit you practice before it compounds, that is root work. And root work is the only thing that makes what comes next possible. The bamboo doesn't stop growing because nobody can see it yet, neither should you. Let me tell you what the quiet phase actually feels like. It feels like waking up and doing the work before anyone knows about it, before it's worth talking about, before there's anything to show. It feels like saying no to things, invitations, purchases, experiences, without being able to explain in a way that makes sense to the people asking. It feels like watching other people seem to move faster than you, get promoted faster, buy things faster, post things you can't afford yet, and quietly wondering, am I doing something wrong? Is my path broken? Should I be further along by now? It feels like carrying a plan that nobody else can see, and some days not being sure if the plan is real or if you've been fooling yourself. That's the quiet phase, not a sign that it's not working. The quiet phase has always been hard, but it has never been harder than right now. Because right now, everyone you know is broadcasting their highlight reel on a loop. The promotion, the holiday, the new thing, the result. Nobody posts the root work. Nobody announces the years underground. You only see the bamboo after it breaks the surface, and it looks like it happened overnight. So you're sitting in the middle of your quiet phase, doing invisible work, and your entire social environment is showing you other people's visible results all day. That's not a fair comparison. That's not even a real comparison. You're comparing your underground to someone else's surface, and that comparison will cost you more than almost any financial mistake you could make. Here is the most important thing to understand about the quiet phase. Most people quit during it, not because they weren't capable, not because their plan wasn't working, but because nothing visible was happening yet, and silence felt like failure, because they didn't know this phase had a name. They didn't know it was normal. They just knew it was uncomfortable, and they walked away from something that was about to work. So what do you do with it? How do you move through the quiet phase rather than just suffering in it? The first thing is to give it a name, which you now have. The second thing is to measure differently. When you're underground, you can't measure progress by visible results because visible results haven't arrived yet. So you measure by inputs. Did you save this month? Did you learn something? Did you show up when you didn't want to? Those are the metrics that matter right now. The outputs will follow. The third thing is to treat the quiet phase as a workshop, not a waiting room. The people who come out the other side aren't the ones who waited most patiently. They're the ones who built most consistently while nobody was watching. Every skill you add in the quiet phase is a root going deeper. Every habit you build is a root going wider.
And the fourth thing, perhaps the hardest, is to stop expecting anyone else to understand where you are right now. Not because they don't care, but because the quiet phase is, by its nature, invisible. You cannot show someone your root system. You can only keep tending it. Here is what I want you to hold on to. The quiet phase ends. Not usually with a single moment you can point to. It ends the way it begins, quietly. One day the savings look genuinely different. One day the skill starts paying. One day a stream of income appears that wasn't there before. One day you realize the root system you were building in the dark finally broke the surface. If you're in the quiet phase right now, you are not behind. You are not broken. You are not an exception to a rule that works for everyone else. You are in the most important season of the whole journey. Subscribe if this said something you needed to hear. Share it with someone who is quietly building and doesn't know it has a name. If you enjoyed this video, watch another one. Cheers!